The more you read, the more you will agree. But I should warn you, her story is contained in a book in the Bible that is like no other. As the late Ray Stedman describes it, for many this little book is a puzzle, for it seems to be out of place in the Bible. There is no mention in it of the name of God. There is no reference to worship or to faith. There is no prediction of the Messiah. There is no mention of heaven or hell. In short, there is nothing religious about it, at least on the surface. It is a gripping tale, but one might rather expect to find it in the pages of the Reader's Digest than the Bible. But even though her story is found in the most unusual book of the Bible, it will keep your attention from start to finish. Strange and puzzling as it may seem to the casual observer, those who look beneath the surface will find treasures they never expected. And so, we're off on another exciting, unusual journey. The road will take several surprising twists and turns, but don't worry, we have not lost our way. We're simply following the leader, who has a way of keeping us wondering at times where we are going and why it seems so confusing on this journey called life. But the good news is this: he knows what he is about. His way may not be as we expected, but it is the only way to go. And when you mix the power of an awesome God with the power of a godly woman, you've got a winning combination. If you've found yourself intrigued with David, a man of passion and destiny, you're going to be enraptured with Esther, a woman of strength and dignity. Chuck Swindoll, Dallas, Texas. Chapter 1. God's Invisible Providence. God's presence is not as intriguing as his absence. His voice is not as eloquent as his silence. Who of us has not longed for a word from God, searched for a glimpse of his power, or yearned for the reassurance of his presence, only to feel that he seems absent from the moment, distant, preoccupied, maybe even unconcerned? Yet later we realize how very present he was all along. As far back as 1867, Walter Chalmers Smith, the Scottish preacher and poet, penned the words that have become the lyrics of one of the greatest hymns of the Church. Immortal, invisible, God only wise, in light inaccessible hid from our eyes, most blessed, most glorious, the Ancient of Days, almighty, victorious, thy great name we praise. Unresting, unhasting, and silent as light, nor wanting nor wasting, thou rulest in might. Thy justice, like mountains high soaring above, thy clouds, which are fountains of goodness and love. Though God may at times seem distant, and though he is invisible to us, he is always invincible. This is the main lesson of the book of Esther. Though absent by name from the pages of this particular book of Jewish history, God is present in every scene and in the movement of every event, until he ultimately and finally brings everything to a marvelous climax as he proves himself Lord of his people, the Jews. Gaining a deeper understanding of God. Before we delve into the story of Esther, I think we need to gain a deeper understanding of God so that we might grasp a greater appreciation for a book that never once names his name. To do that, let's look first at a statement Paul wrote to the Romans. Oh, the depth of the riches, both of the wisdom and knowledge of God! How unsearchable are his judgments, and unfathomable his ways. Romans chapter 11, verse 33. I can't help but believe that Paul's pen bore down hard on the parchment as he wrote those words, bringing to a climax this grand doctrinal treatise, this personal credo. Observe carefully what he says. First, God has a mind, which Paul describes as unsearchable judgments. It defies the human mind to find the depths of the mind of God. They are unsearchable. A scholar may spend years studying another human being, his life, his writings, his work, and ultimately have a deep understanding of that person. We can plumb the depths of another's mind, but we cannot begin to scratch the surface of the unsearchable judgments of God. My thoughts are higher than your thoughts, God told Isaiah chapter 55, verse 9. Theologians have spent lifetimes searching out the traits, the characteristics, the hand of God.